Hi everybody, welcome back to Mirrors. Last time we left off, David had just had a horrible dream where people just kept trying to sell him things and he really wasn't interested in that. Not much else to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. This is going to be one of the longer episodes in this series, probably, so strap yourselves in for that. Trying to forget his last nightmare, David started working with Martin to write the lyrics for their new song. How do we call this song? I looked at the README for the translation in between recordings, and it turns out I had forgotten you can only save when you're prompted with a dialogue choice like this. So a little bit clunky, and I'll probably be making more frequent use of save states to keep track of where we are. But I'll probably also be keeping saves, you never know. Anyway, I was thinking prayers. David's suggestion might have been born from his desire to escape from his nightmares. It might have been, but we'll never know for sure. I like it. It gives it that mystical vibe. Yeah, it's perfect. Let's go with that. Do you know where Susanna is? I overslept, so I guess I missed her this morning. She mentioned having to make arrangements for tomorrow's concert and left. It was around 9 o'clock. Did you need her for something? No, not really. It's just that I'm going to check out one of those castles with Andrew later. I figured I'd ask if she wanted to come with us. At that moment, Susanna was walking in the city, tailed by Detective Clark and his assistant Vince. Chief, she's just taking a nice stroll. From what I could learn, she's supposed to make arrangements for the band's next concert. Why didn't she take a cab? A person just wanting to walk somewhere? Inconceivable. Why are we tailing her if we already know where she's going, Chief? It makes sense during the night, but now? Susanna was walking leisurely, as if she was having a good time shopping. That's just how it is. We've been asked to investigate her, and we don't have anything solid to report. We can't take it easy. Yeah, we can't really say that she gave us the slip and we tailed her last night, huh? Though she was in the shopping district, Susanna did not seem interested in buying anything. She was simply walking around, glancing at her wristwatch from time to time. She keeps checking the time. Is she waiting for someone? Like a concert promoter, maybe? Because she's a manager and that's her job? If she's making arrangements for a concert, she's probably meeting a promoter. See? Thank you, Vince. The voice of reason. Susanna started walking again. After seemingly confirming the sign outside, Susanna walked into a cafe. Let's follow her, Vince. After confirming that Susanna took a seat at one of the tables in the back, Clark sat at one of the nearby tables. While Clark was drinking his coffee, a middle-aged man approached Susanna. After a brief greeting, he sat at her table. It's a man. He doesn't look like a promoter. He looks more like the president of a bank, or the CEO of a big company. Your hunches are usually right, so let's assume this guy has nothing to do with music. Susanna and the middle-aged man started talking in a hushed tone. Clark and Vince couldn't hear their conversation. Damn it, I can't hear what they're saying. That means it's not something they want people to hear. I'm starting to think Our Lady does have something to hide. With their conversation seemingly over, Susanna said goodbye to the middle-aged man and left the table. Vince, did you see that? He gave her something as she was leaving. No, I never took my eyes off of them and I didn't notice anything. Are you sure you didn't imagine that, Chief? Once Susanna had left the store, the middle-aged man left the table. We have to split up. Vince, you follow the man. Find out who he is. I'll keep tailing our girl. Clark left the store and followed Susanna. Whatever it was she had been given, it was something she couldn't obtain publicly, and that was bothering him. Susanna's cab left her in front of a building with a sign that read, Elephant Entertainment. She went inside. She's probably not going to leave for a while. He's hoping Vince can find out some good stuff about that man. Clark concluded that he shouldn't expect to find out anything else by tailing Susanna. Meanwhile, David and Andrew were on a sightseeing tour of the old castles of Loire. They considered getting on a tourist bus, but since they wanted to be able to go back at a moment's notice, they decided to take a cab to one of the castles Andrew saw in a book. After about 1 hour, they arrived at the castle of Azay-le-Rideau, near the river Indre. Look at that! It's amazing! The castle of Azay-le-Rideau was picturesque. It was erected on a small island in the middle of the river. It was a breathtaking sight. It's got a drawbridge and all. How cool is that? It says here the castle is best seen from the outside. Apparently the rooms are all closed to the public. There's a lot of castles in the Loire, but I really like this one. It's like it came out of a fairy tale. I think this is a great change of pace. David and Andrew relaxed for a while near the old castle, eating an ice cream. Then they took a cab to the next castle in their tour. Before Andrew could mention their next stop, David ended up telling the driver to go to the castle of Chinon. The castle of Chinon, huh? I thought you didn't know anything about this castle. Ah well, we have a lot of time on our hands. The taxi headed for Chinon. They had arrived. There was a shop selling souvenirs and pamphlets about the castle. When David entered the shop, he was surprised by what he saw. Allegedly, inside the castle of Chinon, there was a small museum dedicated to Joan of Arc. This was the castle where Joan of Arc had conveyed the message from God to Charles VII. What's wrong, David? You're looking a bit pale there. Though this castle sat along the banks of the river Vienne, it was more of a dilapidated fortress. David murmured to himself, "Did Joan of Arc call for me?" Yeah, this is a castle famous for Joan of Arc's history, but I don't think it's the kind of castle you'd like to visit. I just remembered the name. I might have heard about it because it was where Joan of Arc first became famous. Well, we've seen it now. Happy? Now let's go see a cool one like the Castle of Chambois. They took another cab and made for Chambois. Oh damn, is that how you pronounce that? There are a lot of French names in this episode. It's hard to keep them all straight in my head. I'm doing my best out here. Once they had arrived, they observed the castle from the outside. See? Now this is a castle. The castle of Chambois has an overall symmetrical form. Its castle walls form a rectangle, with cylindrical buildings at each angle. Yeah, I guess unlike the castle of Chinon, this one is really imposing. What a sight, eh? The circular constructions were rare at the time, you know? We've come all this way. Why don't we go inside? Castles are really meant to be seen from the outside. They turn the inside into a tourist attraction. I hate that crap. Well then why are you going on a castle sightseeing tour, dude? If you want to see how a castle really looks like inside, we should go to Amboise. The Castle of Amboise? Yeah, there's this tower with a diameter of 21 meters. It's called the Minime Tower. The castle itself is pretty big too. It'll take us a while to check it all out. And so they took another cab, heading for the Castle of Amboise. The taxi arrived at the Castle of Amboise. So cool! It's said that at the time of its construction, the castle grounds had an overall triangular shape, with a base of 180 meters and two sides of 200 meters. But all that is left now is the large circular tower facing the Loire River and the central building. I can see why you recommended it. It's incredible. I can't wait to go inside the Minime. Come on, let's go inside and tell the guys all about it later. Let's go! Andrew walked towards the castle entrance with childlike glee. Andrew must have been forcing himself in order to cheer up David. David was aware of that, but kept it to himself, silently appreciating his efforts. They paid the entrance fee and went inside. Look at this courtyard. It's amazing. It's way bigger than I thought it would be. It says here that since the walls were built out of solid rock, they could withstand cannonballs, as long as they weren't fired from up close. Andrew, look at the walls. There's blood on them. There's no way there would still be blood after all this time, man. It's just dirt. You're right. It has to be dirt. I just assumed it was bloodstains. For some reason, I keep having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not? Come on, let's go inside. Just as Andrew urged him to come, David noticed a human face through one of the castle's windows. David was sure that the face was glaring at him. David looked away for a moment. When he looked back, the face was no longer there. When he looked back towards the entrance, he could no longer see Andrew. He had either gone inside or outright left. David hurried inside the castle. The only sound David could hear inside the castle was the sound of his own footsteps, bouncing off the stone walls. There was not a person in sight. David moved in deeper, looking for Andrew. Until he reached a room blocked by iron bars. Synthesizer jump scare. The moment he approached the room, a dirty man grabbed David's shirt through the iron bars. The man glared at David with bloodshot eyes, filled with hatred. What are you doing? Let me go! You're the Dark One, the Devil King. You'll use your forbidden magic to bind us and kill us. But our king will never allow your evil. Why are you calling me Devil King? I'm a musician. Enough of your nonsense. You think you're safe because you locked me in here, do you? You're wrong. Behold my magic! Flashing lights warning. It's brief, but still. The man closed his eyes and began chanting a spell. David unconsciously thrust both hands forward. Okay, you're safe now. Somehow, the man disappeared from the room instantly. David had no idea what had just happened. He felt like he was in one of his dreams. After calming down, he went on ahead. He found another room blocked by iron bars. There was a man crouching inside the room. He looked as if he was about to die. The locked man seemed to have trouble breathing. What are you doing in here? Devil King, you're alive. As long as you stand, the Dark Clan shall live eternal. Why do you call me so? I'm not this Devil King of yours. You don't have to hide it from me, my lord. I am Sherman of the Dark Clan. I suppose you couldn't recognize me in this pitiful state. Once again, David had been called Devil King. Thus, he decided to act out his role. If you have something to tell me, speak at once. I was sure the Dark Clan had fallen. I swore revenge, but my life has reached its end. I can die in peace after meeting you one more time, my lord. Devil King, please avenge our Dark Clan. Those words took the last bit of energy he had left. The man fell to the floor. He was dead. David tried opening the gate, but it was locked. David started walking aimlessly. He could barely focus. David noticed something on the ground. Upon a closer look, he realized it was a dirty doll. David looked around. He couldn't find anyone. David was paralyzed by the shock of his discovery. He found the owner of the voice. It was the doll. The moment he attempted to grab the doll, flashing lights warning again. Okay, you're good. The doll released a white light, blinding David. David, what are you looking at? Come on, let's go inside the castle. Following Andrew's voice, David could hear the murmur of the tourists and the voice of the guide describing the castle. What's wrong, David? You're not looking too good. It's nothing. I'm fine. As if nothing had ever happened, David resumed the castle tour, and then went back to the hotel. After returning to the hotel, the front desk clerk called out to him. Mr. David? Did you call me? There was a visitor for you at around 11, but you weren't available. He left a message for you. What does it say? I don't know why I gave the clerk this voice, but we're rolling with it. We're never going to see him again anyway, don't worry about it. Here it is. The clerk handed David an envelope. David opened the envelope on the spot and read the message. I have something very important to tell you. Come see me at the house on 247 Rue de Bleu whenever you want. I'll be waiting for you. I could not find a pronunciation voice clip example for this. Admittedly not that I looked very hard, but still. I apologize in advance. I'm doing my best. I'm just an idiot bird, I'm sorry. Can you tell me more about who gave you this message? David considered that it might just be a prank from a crazed fan, but there was something about it that really bothered him. It was a man in his 60s. When I asked for his name, he said you would know as soon as you read the message. He left before I could inquire more. I see. Thank you. David had a bad feeling about the situation. Andrew had gone back to his room, so David decided to go to Rue de Bleu by himself. As he didn't know the layout of the town, David hailed a cab in front of the hotel. Bleu? There's an L in that word. Bleu? That's a 30-minute drive from here. Just a heads up, there's nothing interesting for a tourist over there. This is Beaujon Boulevard. We're almost on Rue de Bleu. This is 242 Rue de Bleu. 247 is probably in that alley up ahead, but cars can't go in there. David got out of the taxi and entered the alley the driver pointed him to. After walking for a while, he saw a crowd gathered in front of a house. Back off, nothing to see here. Keep walking. Once the police opened a way through the crowd, David saw they were carrying a stretcher covered in a white sheet. Why would anyone kill the old fortune teller? It's not like he made a lot of money. David started thinking. The man who left him that message might have been this very fortune teller. He felt as if his dreams and reality were mixing together. A chill ran up his spine at the thought he might have been the cause of yet another murder. David hurried back to the hotel. Back to the hotel, David could hear Martin playing the guitar in his room. He decided to go in. Alan was also there. Welcome back. Sounds like you've written a good song, Martin. Yep. Did you enjoy your castle tour? That must have been tiring. Yeah. Andrew picked the best ones from his book, so it was a nice experience. David decided to keep the hallucination he had to himself. You know, I had no idea Andrew was into that stuff. Where is Andrew, by the way? What, he was tired and went to sleep? What a baby. Sometime later, Andrew entered the room with a grim look on his face. Hey, Andrew. Why the long face? I left my room after taking a little nap, and I saw this weird old man in front of David's room. I didn't care about him at first, I just passed by him and kept walking. But I turned back for some reason, and... You'll think I'm crazy, but the old man was gone. Like he was never there. So what, y'all saying it was a ghost? Maybe you brought one back from one of those castles. cut it out. No spooky talk in my room. David felt his legs about to give out. Could that have been the ghost of the murdered fortune teller? The thought made him feel sick. He needed to lie down in bed as soon as possible. Guys, I'm feeling pretty tired myself. I'll go take a nap. David hoped the others wouldn't notice his current state of mind. Back in his room, David crawled into his bed and tried to sleep, but for some reason he was completely unable to do so. I don't get it. I should be dead tired, but I can't fall asleep. I know. I'll ask Susanna for some of her pills. I hope she's still up. There was a knock on the door. Who could it be? Andrew? David dragged his tired feet along the room and opened the door. It wasn't any of his friends. It was an old man he had never seen before. David jumped back, forgetting all about his fatigue. The old man entered the room, looking at him. Who are you? Leave, now! Devil King. It is I, Michel, the sorcerer. I came to warn you about a terrible trap. This Devil King crap again? I've had enough of it. It's going to be a bloodbath, my lord. You must listen to me. Who are you? I don't know any Michel. Have you forgotten about me, my lord? I took care of you during your childhood. Devil King, at this rate you will turn into a vengeful demon and be banished from this realm. Why would I turn into a demon? How could you, the Devil King, not know about the forbidden powers you possess? Could it be... At that moment, Susanna entered the room. David, what's going on? Who is this old man? Ling? I should have known. If you're here, then we're too late. Devil King, you only have one option left. You must die. Please, die. Suddenly, the old man jumped at David's throat, strangling him. Please, die. I beg you, my lord. David, watch out! Run away! Susanna pulled the old man, desperately trying to get him off of David. With the strength he had left, David screamed, trying to push the old man away. David? Open up. David, are you okay? It was another dream. David jumped out of the bed. Neither the old man nor Susanna were in his room. The moment he realized it was but another dream, he heard knocking on the door. Susanna was calling him. Once he opened the room, David realized that Susanna looked very worried. Is that what we're calling that expression? Worried? I mean, okay. Did you have another nightmare? I heard you screaming from the corridor. Yeah, I guess I did. Perfect timing. I just bought some new pills that should be very effective. You should try them. Thanks, you're a lifesaver. Even in my dream, someone was trying to kill me, and you came to my rescue. I'm really grateful. Wow, I was in your dream? I'm flattered. Anyway, you should take these pills and have a good night. Susanna handed the pills to David. David looked at the small bottle, feeling glad for Susanna's kindness. He took a few and went back to bed. David was awakened by a mild scent of musk. Where? Everything about his room was different, from the bed to the rest of the furniture. He could hear the voice of a man coming from within the room. A man approached him from the back of the room. Are you awake, my king? King? Who are you? I apologize for the rude awakening. I am the sorcerer Horkai. At that moment, he heard the voice of a woman, who then walked in from the back of the room. Lady Susanna, the king is awake. Then let us begin the sacred ritual. Susanna? Her clothes are different, but she definitely looks and sounds like her. King of the beasts, you who are both king and priest, O god of darkness, drink the water of life. Horkai offered David a bowl filled with water. What is this water? Divine water from the Star of Darkness. Only you, the king, are allowed to drink it. You must drink it during the morning ritual. Susanna took the bowl from Horkai and handed it to David. David first took a sip, and then drank the entire contents of the bowl. A terrible energy flowed through him. He felt as if his body was going to explode. David? Are you okay? I thought I was going to burn. David came to his senses once he heard Susanna's voice. He looked around, and he realized he was in his hotel room. As he hurriedly got dressed, he told Susanna about what he had just seen. It was one of my weirdest dreams yet. You were there again, the water of life, this man called Horkai. This is so weird. It's been barely 3 minutes since you took the pills and you were already dreaming? You might be hypersensitive to these pills. Come on, you have a concert tomorrow. You better get some rest or you're not going to feel well. Susanna left the room. I don't know what those pills are exactly, but I feel full of energy.